All I want to see is five guys happy playing together, and that's what makes the music.
Today we mourn the death, yet celebrate the life of Eagles co-founder Randy Meisner. Randall Herman Meisner was born in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, on March 8, 1946, the second child and only son of farmers Herman and Emily Meisner. The Meisner family grew corn, beans, alfalfa, and sugar beets on their farm. Young Randy developed an interest in the guitar at 10 years old, after seeing Elvis Presley perform on The Ed Sullivan Show. He began taking lessons and playing in local bands. While attending Scottsbluff High School, one of Randy's teachers suggested he take up the bass. I loved Randy and the bass players on the Motown stuff were great. They really inspired me. I can't read music. Once I learn a part it's there. My bass playing came real naturally. In May 1968, after auditioning alongside Timothy B. Schmidt,
well, there's just a little bit of magic in the country music we're singing.
Meisner joined Poco with former Buffalo Springfield members Richie Furay and Jim Messina. Meisner appears on the group's first album, Picking Up the Pieces, but quit the band shortly before the record was released. His exit was the result of his anger at being excluded from participation in the final mix playback sessions for the album, as only Messina and Furay were to complete production. In September 1971, Meisner with Don Henley, Glenn Frey, and Bernie Leadon formed the Eagles. The band signed with David Geffen's new label, Asylum Records, and released their eponymous debut album in 1972. While he usually played the bass and sang backing vocals for the Eagles, he wrote, co-wrote, and or sang lead-on songs on each of the group's first 5 albums, most notably Take It to the Limit, the band's first million-selling single, and the third song released from one of these nights. During the 1976-77 tour in support of the album Hotel California, Meisner suffered from ill health and exhaustion while the band toured frequently for over 11 months. Meisner also preferred not to be the center of attention, and said, "I was always kind of shy. They wanted me to stand in the middle of the stage to sing Take It to the Limit, but I like to be out of the spotlight." Meisner formally quit the band in September 1977, citing exhaustion.
We just got fed up with that and just said, okay, don't sing it. Why don't you just quit? You say you're unhappy, quit.
On the subject of his abrupt resignation from the band, Meisner later said, "All that stuff and all the arguing amongst the Eagles is over now. Well, at least for me."
Randy never knew how great he was. He wasn't alpha. Confrontations were really hard for him.
Following his departure from the Eagles, Meisner went on to release solo albums in 1978 and 1980. He said that his 1978 album, which he co-produced with Alan Brackett, was scattershot and not conceptualized to its best. It only featured one song co-written by Meisner, a new arrangement of Take It to the Limit, and he only played bass on one song, a cover of the Drifters' Save the Last Dance for Me. He explained that Elektra had a leaving members clause and I had to record an album for them before I was able to do what I wanted. 1980's One More Song was produced by Val Garai and featured backing vocals by his former Eagles bandmates Don Henley and Glenn Frey on the Jack Tempchin composed title track. Meisner co-wrote 6 of the album's 9 songs, including the top 20 single Hearts on Fire, collaborating with songwriters Wendy Waldman and Eric Kaz. Unlike former bandmates Glenn Frey and Don Henley, Meisner's solo career failed to take off. His biggest chart success was Hearts on Fire, which barely cracked the top 20, reaching number 19 on the Hot 100 and number 14 on the US rock charts. His first release, Deep Inside My Heart, stalled at number 22. It did reach number 12 on the Canadian Hot 100. His other single releases were 1982's Never Been in Love, which stalled at number 28, and I'm Sure of You, which failed to chart at all. In 1985, Meisner became part of an all-star band Black Tie composed of Jimmy Griffin of Bread and Billy Swan. Black Tie's cover of Buddy Holly's Learning the Game became a hit on U.S. country radio. Respected session musician Blondie Chaplin and former Eagles member Bernie Leadon joined the band on their U.S. tour in early 1986. The band released one album together in 1990, When the Night Falls. Jimmy Griffin departed and was replaced by Charlie Rich Jr. The band was renamed Meisner, Rich, and Swan. alternatively known as Meisner, Swan, and Rich. The trio toured extensively in the 1990s and recorded an album. Unfortunately, the album, which was released on September 11, 2001, failed to garner much attention at the time. Meisner expressed disappointment and hurt at being excluded from the Eagles' 1994 resumption tour Hell Freezes Over. In an interview with the television program American Journal, Meisner said he had contacted the band's manager, Irving Azoff, when he heard rumors of the band reforming but was brushed off by him. "You think that you would be mentioned if you helped with 6 of the albums, but they act as though I never even played with them," Meisner said at the time. Meisner also asked the band if he could sit in with them at their Millennium concert at the Staples Center in Los Angeles on New Year's Eve 1999, but said he was rebuffed. However, he also said that he held no resentment towards Henley and Frey. The Eagles' 1998 appearance at the New York City induction ceremony for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame featured all 7 past and present members of the Eagles.
And it's just great playing with the guys again. And I'd like to thank also my mother and father very much for supporting me during those years. And thank you.
They performed Take It Easy and Hotel California. His successor, Timothy B. Schmidt, paid tribute to Meisner in his acceptance speech. Meisner reportedly struggled with periodic alcohol dependency since the late 1960s, especially during his tenure with the Eagles as he tried to deal with his newfound fame. Following minor heart attacks in 2004, he was forced to cut back on touring. As his health continued to deteriorate, he eventually stopped performing. His last known public performance was in 2008 in Naples, Florida. On March 6, 2016, police responded to a 911 call made by a woman from the couple's Studio City, California, house asking for police assistance with a possibly intoxicated male. 90 minutes later, after police had left the scene, Lana Meisner accidentally shot and killed herself when a rifle she was moving was struck by an object in its case and fired. Authorities determined that Meisner had no role in the shooting, as surveillance tapes showed he was in another part of the house at the time. Randy Meisner, who was a co-founding member of legendary rock band The Eagles and served as a bassist and vocalist, has died, according to an announcement on the band's official site. He was 77. The Eagles are sad to report that founding member, bassist, and vocalist, Randy Meisner, passed away July 26 in Los Angeles at age 77, due to complications from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, the statement posted on Thursday, read. Randy was an integral part of the Eagles and instrumental in the early success of the band. His vocal range was astonishing, as is evident on his signature ballad, Take It to the Limit, said the Eagles. That was our look at Eagles co-founder Randy Meisner. What do you think? Do you have a favorite Randy Meisner song? Did you follow his career before and after the Eagles? What was your favorite Randy Meisner song? Let us know in the comments section below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Share the video as that will help me get new subscribers. Also check out my Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter franchise in the comments below. Until next time, this is Billy Joey in for Kevin Given saying, live long and prosper, may the force be with you, and keep reaching for the stars.